You destroy everything you touch, Megatron.
Because everything I touch is food for my hunger. My hunger for power. Almost time.
Well, that's one way to get a Megatron that's got the cartoon animation on it. Hey guys, Woody here. Today we'll be taking a look at the Transformers 35th Anniversary Siege War for Cybertron Classic Animation version Voyager Megatron. Man, that is a mouthful, but I got it. So starting with the box, we have that very nice symbol that was in the original box, just this is a cleaner version. We have what line this is from. Here's his name and what version of him it is. You got Transformers right there. All the company logos, blah, blah, blah. Generations. On this side of the box, Transformers More Than Meets the Eye, 35, with an Autobot logo. 1984, 2019. Many more years to come, I assure you. On this side of the box, we have a very, very nice picture of Megatron with the classic animation style. On the back of the box, we have the product shot. Let's get in close. You got his function, Decepticon Leader in multiple languages, Transformers 35th Anniversary, right there, Classic Animation, Megatron, War for Cybertron S66 with a battered Decepticon logo. Now, I know the other boxes had like that blacklight feature. I don't know if this one has it, to be honest. I don't have a blacklight. And speaking of that other box, it is definitely different because there we go. You can see this one's clean, that one's dirty. But I did notice that the side box of Megatron here is very similar to this. Just slightly different, but all in all, it's practically the same pose. So, enough of the box. Let's move on to the main event, shall we? So now, let me lower my camera a bit, because this is a very low vehicle mode. Here we have Classic Animation Voyager Siege Megatron, and I love this figure. It's amazing. It's basically a repaint of the original Siege figure, but it's a very, very well done repaint. Now let's take a closer look at it, shall we? You have beautifully molded in detail. Now this is done in a very, very light gray and then a somewhat dark gray. But it's pretty cool. It works. It works for what they were trying to do. And it also has a bunch of that cell shading paintwork scattered throughout the figure, and it's awesome. So starting with the front, you have some molded in headlights right there. Some more right there. Underneath right there, it looks like vintage right there, which is pretty cool. They didn't have to do that. Right there, you can see there's a little bit of a hatch right there, which is awesome. Going throughout the rest of the figure, you have some paneling right there, some vents, what it looks like. Scattered throughout, there's another vent, a few more there. The detail work on this is just stunning. It is definitely one to be commended. Got some vents on the back, but if you got the Toy Hacks labels for the other one, then it's their tail lights, which is not bad. Now for the turret, let's hear it. There we go, it focused. Beautifully sculpted turret. I love it. It's so good looking. And I'm still not sure what the sight's for, but hey, I'm not a tank expert. Beautifully molded detail throughout. Even looks like railings there. Decked out in white paint to give it that bit of a extra shine to it. There's some vintage right there, which looks awesome. On the top of the turret, more molded detail, even on what will be his fusion cannon, which I love. There's the secondary hatch. I guess that's for the gunner. And you can see even more gorgeous detailing on the top of the figure itself. And overall, this figure is awesome. Now let's get on with the comparison, shall we? Let me fix the camera a bit. There we go. First, here we have the only other Megatron figure I have, Transformers Prime Voyager Megatron. And yeah, this one is a bit blockier because they were going for the G1 look, but they're still pretty awesome. Let's take a look right here. Yeah, but roughly the same size if you get rid of the cannon. Well, this one's canon. There we go. Here is the only Optimus Prime figure I have. Transformers Prime, first edition, Voyager class Optimus. Now for the Siege line. Here is Deluxe class Prowl. So that's how they stack up. Here he is with Voyager class Siege Starscream in his Tetra Jet mode. Pretty cool. And here we have Soundwave in his stereo mode. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. And now for the comparison that y'all have been waiting for. Here he is with the original Siege Megatron. And I gotta say, it still looks awesome. Seeing them together, it's pretty cool. But you can see some very blatant differences. First off, there are differences in the turret. This one has silver and red. This one does not. There's some red here on the original, but no red there. These are black on the original. This one isn't. This one has some yellow details decked out right there. Well, this one, nope. But here's from the side. You can see there's also different shades of color for the legs too, because that one's dark gray while that one is black. Okay, we're now out of focus there for a sec. Even the turrets are a bit of a different shade, but there's the back. There we go. Now, this does have some articulation. First off, well, it can roll thanks to the wheels on the bottom. Oops. And the tank and turret can do a full 360, which is awesome engineering. The fact that they were able to make it do that is just awesome. So, let's move, now that we've got the vehicle mode out of the way, let's move on to the transformation, shall we? So first what you're going to want to do is remove this. We'll get to that later. So, first things, now after we've got that done, let's start with the legs. So first, you're going to untab them from there, just like that. You're going to take here, pull that down, and then you're going to, I guess, accordion that thing out just like that. Switch it down to there. Then you're going to twist it to where this needs to be facing out with the screws. Then you just bring it down, push that up for the feet, flatten that out, then get in there and pull this part out. Alright, now let's do the other side. There we go. Legs are all done. Now we're going to start with this part. You're going to pull it forward. And this is going to untap from right there. So just pull those out. So that this can fold up just like that. A little bit of a clearance issue, but now you're going to just pull it up so where it's like that. And these are going to fold in. Tab in right there. That tab's going to go right in there. Come on, there we go. Do the same for the other side. Now we got that all done. Megatron's just looking down like, what are you doing back there? Stop it. Anyway, now we're going to rotate his waist 180 so that the screws are now in the back. Now we're going to work on his arms. So first you're going to just untap it from there because that goes right into there. And then we're going to bring it to where this is going to go right in there. Both sides. And then we're going to take the backpack, fold it all the way down, and it's just going to rest right in there. It should be able to thump into place. Just like that. We're almost done. Next, you're going to take out the hands. Just like that. Rotate the turret, or the fusion cannon. And then, to finish it off, you're going to do... Honestly, I don't know why it's my favorite part of the transformation, but I think it has to do with the fact that they didn't have to do this. You're going to take this part, like, just take that right there, and just push it down. That's it. To give it that G1 look. And there you go. There's the new Siege Classic Animation Megatron in his robot mode. And oh my god, this guy looks awesome. By Primus, he looks awesome. I've decided to call the Siege line the affordable masterpiece line because it truly is a masterpiece. And with the paint job for this one, definitely gives it that masterpiece look. So, let's get in close on the details, shall we? Starting with his bucket head. Here, let me actually fix the camera right quick. We'll have him lie down for a sec while I fix the camera. There we go. I have more room. We got that classic Megatron head sculpt, which is very well molded. Just got his eyes are decked out in red, which is pretty awesome. You got some dark gray details right there. And then for the cell shading, got some light gray there, lighter than the rest of it. And then some dark gray right here to emphasize that the light is shining from this direction, which is pretty cool. Onto the chest, got that very well done Decepticon emblem. On mine, you can kind of notice right there, that little bit's much closer to the rest of it. But you know what? There were animation errors in G1, so hey, for all I know, that was on purpose. You got some more cell shaded looking. Shell shading, what's that? Onto the abdomen. You got his little control panel there with all his lights and buttons highlighted as their colors should be. More cell shading. On the side of his chest, you have some red there. Oh, a little red transferred right there, but hey, not too worried. Some dark gray right there as well. But this side has no dark gray, which I like. It's an actual smart detail. Sorry for any barking that you might hear. My dogs are going nuts over something. Anywho, moving on to the arms, since they're pretty much next. We have all that detailed and cell shading that was in vehicle mode transferred over perfectly in robot mode with some new details, like you got some shading right there and right there, which is pretty cool. The hands are molded in the same color of plastic as the rest as this, but they are painted that gray color because you can see inside that little peg hole it's painted, but still pretty good. I love it. Now what I really love is the fact that this arm's paint job is different from this arm's, which is pretty good. Because like if the light's shining from this direction, then that arm's going to have more shadows on it, which I just love. And while we're on this arm, let's take a look at that fusion cannon. Invokes that classic G1 Megatron fusion cannon with the nice cell shaded lines. And I love the fact that if you look at it from this side, it's the classic Megatron fusion cannon. And if you just look at it from the back, it's tech mode. That's pretty awesome. And now moving down to the lower part of the body. Some more of that cell shading here on the dark gray with some hints of black right there. The thighs, they got no paint application on them, but that's fine because they get tucked away in vehicle mode anyway. And in robot mode, it's perfect. Now for the legs, sculpted in that dark gray. There is a difference in the paint and the cell shading here. If you notice, the lines on this side are skinnier than the lines on that side, and then there's that little smudge of black paint on right there, but not there. Onward to the feet, that boot style, which I love. We've got some dark gray shading there and there on both sides, there and there. The back of the feet, where the vents were, it's that light gray, so no shading there. Oh well, no big loss. But it would have been nice to have a consistent thing throughout, but who cares. On the back, not really much cell shading considering most of this is either tucked away or on the bottom of the figure. The cell shading from vehicle mode transfers over to the backpack, just like that. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Articulation now, he does have a ball joint right there. Dogs are going nuts again. German Shepherds, they're always loud. Never while it's off camera. So he can look side to side. He can somewhat look up. He can look down about that much. He does have a waist swivel, but every time you turn it, you push the backpack out just a bit. So meh. If that bothers you, then don't use it. His arms can go out that far. It can do a full 360. They can bend about that much. There's no real rotation at the hands. The only articulation, if you want to call it that, is just the little transformation piece. And then moving down to the legs, you can move forward that much, back that much before the backpack gets in the way. And you got that much of knee bend, which is more than enough. And then another point of the figure that I love. In fact, I love it with all the siege line. You get an ankle tiltage. That's pretty awesome. Even some of the other high-end figures, like the ones that are supposed to be affordable high-end ones, don't have that. Yet these guys do. That's awesome. No rotation at the ankle, but who cares? Alright. Let me just fix the camera a bit, then we'll move on to his accessory. There we go. So here we have the turret part we pulled off. Now this converts into two types of weapons. So you just unpeg them like that. Well, I did it off camera, my bad. So just connects like that, so you just tilt them to where they're kind of forked out like that. You just rotate them. So you either have another gun, or, well, I prefer his sword, which is based off the G1 Megatron sword that you would get it with him if you got it in Japan. And it can just peg right into his hand, just like that. Or if you want, he's got other ports that you could plug it into, which I think is pretty awesome. I love how Siege Line is doing that. So, there you go. Now for comparisons part 2. Here he is with, let me get him straightened up. There we go. Transformers Prime Megatron. And I guess since I got him decked out in the show accurate colors, we have 2 animation version Megatrons. Eh? Bad joke, I know. Here he is with Transformers Prime Optimus Prime. Let me get him fixed up. There we go. They kind of scale well together. For the Siege Line, we have Deluxe Class... tongue twisters, they suck. Deluxe Class Prowl. Let me get Megatron more centered. There we go. We have Voyager Class Soundwave. And while he's out here, why don't we go ahead and move them over so I can bring out Voyager Class Siege Starscream. And I've got to say, they look pretty awesome together. I really wish they would re-release the Siege Line again, but all of them have the cell animation. I would love that, especially for these two guys. Because, to me, this is my Decepticon Trinity. And now, for the one you've been waiting for, Voyager Class Megatron. Oh, wait, forgot to give him something. I forgot to give him his sword. So, let's go ahead and put it there. Now, mine has been modified with the repo labels from Toy Hacks, but the points that I can make across from it are still there, such as the different shading of grays, different paint jobs on the head, dirty, clean, war-torn, just got done with a bath. And then if you see, like on the sides of the abdomen, let's see here, come on, focus. Right there, these are originally gray, while that part on the corner was red. Well, this one, the sides are red, but the corners are gray. So they changed that up. And yeah, that is basically it. Let's get him standing. So there we have classic animation Megatron. I don't think I'll ever get my hands on MP36, so this is basically my masterpiece Megatron to me. I just love it, from the molding to the paint applications. It's awesome. Now I will warn you, it does feel like that the paint applications can be chipped away, so be very careful when handling it. Other than that, go get this figure. I highly recommend it. Now he is a Walmart exclusive, so you gotta check their sites, check their stores to find him. So good luck finding him. So that's it. If you enjoyed this review, do leave a like and a comment below. Subscribe to see more reviews that I'll be pumping out. Check out the Transformers playlist to see other Transformer reviews I've done, link in the description below. Follow me on Instagram to see even more content. Link is in the description as well. And that's it. This is Woody, signing off.